Welcome to our video about the fascinating world of Pokemon and their placement on the Tree of Life. Today, we take a closer look at Victreebel and its relationship with Vileplume, as they are both part of the Angiospermae clade. Ready? Let's go. The angiosperms, also known as flowering plants, are the largest group of seed plants. They differ from gymnosperms in that their ovules are enclosed within a carpel, or ovary, protecting them inside a flower structure. The arrangement of angiosperm flowers is derived from the reproductive structures of gymnosperms, which carry their ovules openly on carpels. The spiral arrangement of carpels on the floral axis, seen in flowers such as magnolias, reflects their shared ancestry with older groups, though they differ significantly in their floral structures. Because of these commonalities, angiosperms are classified under Magnoliophyta. During the evolution of seed plants, including angiosperms, the alternation of generations that occurs in ferns, where the gametophyte grows in soil and the sporophyte develops from it, was relocated to flowers. In angiosperm flowers, the female gametophyte, embryo sac, remains inside the ovule, while male gametophytes, pollen grains, are released from the anthers. The ovules and female gametophyte are enclosed within the carpel, giving angiosperms their name. The male gametophyte consists of only 3 cells, and the walls of the megaspores lack sporopalanin. Angiosperms exhibit double fertilization, resulting in the formation of a secondary endosperm. Angiosperms display several derived features, synapomorphies, distinguishing them from other seed plants. In the phloem, sieve tubes and companion cells arise from a shared mother cell, and the xylem contains tracheae in addition to tracheids. Stamens have 2 lateral pairs of pollen sacs, with anthers featuring a hypodermal endothecium. Pollen grains typically lack a laminated indexin. Fossils of angiosperms date back to the transition from the late Jurassic to the early Cretaceous, approximately 160 to 140 million years ago. In 2013, pollen fossils from drill cores were described with ages estimated between 252 and 247 million years, suggesting the origins of flowering plants may extend to the Middle Triassic. One of the oldest described angiosperms, Montsechia vidalii, was found in about 130-million-year-old sediments of freshwater lakes in Spain. The origins of flowering plants, their ancestors, and their closest living relatives remain controversial. 3 major hypotheses exist. 1. The anthophyte hypothesis suggests that the outer seed integument and carpel derive from fertile structures, already united in a flower-like arrangement. Netails and bennettitales are proposed as close relatives or precursors, but significant differences in structural features and a lack of transitional fossils challenge this hypothesis. Molecular studies rarely group angiosperms and netails together. 2. Another hypothesis posits that the seed integument and carpel evolved from a megasporophyll in seed ferns, later forming flowers. Catonia is often cited, but details like the structure of its cupules and rachis remain unclear, and cladistic analyses frequently place Catonia far from seed plants. 3. A third group of hypotheses involves the development of carpels and seed integuments from pollen-bearing structures. These theories include Iltis's catastrophic sexual transmutation theory for maize origin and Mayon's gamma-heterotopy theory for bennettitales cones. The mostly male theory by Froelich and Parker explains carpels as transformations of apical microsporophylls into megasporophylls in determinate reproductive structures. Choristospermales are considered the likely sister group to angiosperms. The Caryophyllales, also known as the order of carnations, belong to the angiosperms, Magnoliopsida. This order encompasses 38 families, approximately 692 genera, and about 11,155 species, making up 6.3% of the eudicots. Among the Caryophyllales are several useful plants, such as sugar beet, spinach, chard, beetroot, rhubarb, purslane, amaranth, and quinoa. The leaves are usually simple, mostly entire, and typically arranged opposite each other. Flowers are often pentamerous, five-parted. The floral parts may be differentiated into sepals and petals, though one whorl of floral organs is often missing. The carpels are fused into an ovary. A characteristic feature of some Caryophyllales is the central placentation of the ovary, which led to the order's traditional classification as Centrospermae. Typical fruits include capsules, nuts, or berries. Many families exhibit special adaptations, such as salt and drought tolerance, succulence, and physiological traits, like C4 photosynthesis, or crassulacean acid metabolism, CAM. Several families feature insectivorous or carnivorous members, such as Droseraceae, Nepenthaceae, and Dionchophyllaceae. Mycorrhizae are rarely found among members of Caryophyllales. Representatives of this order are distributed globally, mainly in open habitats that are often dry, salty, or sandy. Most families are herbaceous, with woody plants being the exception. One defining feature of the Caryophyllales is the production of betalains, a group of pigments including betaxanthins and betacyanins. Betalains have not been identified in any angiosperms outside of Caryophyllales. However, their evolution appears to be more complex than previously thought, as evidenced by the positions of betalain-producing families within the Caryophyllales phylogenetic tree. Betalains are notably absent in the Caryophyllaceae, Lophiocarpaceae, Limaceae, and Meluginaceae, even though these families are scattered across the phylogenetic tree of the Caryophyllales and occupy various positions within betalain-producing clades. This suggests that betalan synthesis within the Caryophyllales likely evolved multiple times, involving shifts from anthocyanin to betalan production. Pitcher plants, Nepenthes, form the sole genus in the family Nepenthaceae. Currently, around 120 species are known, and new ones continue to be discovered and described. All species are tropical carnivorous plants. They are evergreen, perennial, and depending on the species, grow as shrubs or climbing vines. Some species also develop rosettes and exhibit a more compact growth habit. All known species have a constant chromosome number, 2n equals 80, making them fertile for crossbreeding with one another. Pitcher plants generally have a well-developed, highly branched root system that is shallow. In many species, the roots are fragile and sensitive to disturbance, although some species have thickened roots to survive dry periods, such as Nepenthes campotiana and Nepenthes mirabilis. The leaves grow alternately along the stem. The leathery, lance-shaped to elongated or oval structure, referred to as the apparent leaf blade, strictly speaking, represents a modified leaf base. This structure is divided by a prominent central vein that transitions into a thick tendril, which ends where the pitcher begins. The upright pitchers themselves, capped by a lid, are the true leaf blades. The pitchers of Nepenthes are passive pitfall traps with a fixed lid. They use their tendrils to anchor themselves to trees. The pitcher's digestive fluid is very acidic, pH 3, and rich in enzymes, allowing soft-bodied prey to be digested within 2 days. Most species produce both ground pitchers and aerial pitchers on their climbing stems, an adaptation to catch crawling and flying prey. Pitchers on young plants look entirely different from those on mature plants. In their natural habitats, some Nepenthes species develop pitchers as large as 50 centimeters. Pitcher plants are dioecious, meaning male and female plants are separate. They produce compound inflorescences in cymes or racemes. The flower stalks measure between 15 to 100 centimeters, raising the flowers well above the plants. The flowers usually have 4, rarely 3, petals. The unisexual flowers lack remnants of the opposite sex. Male flowers feature 4 to 24 stamens, while female flowers typically have 4, rarely 3, carpels. Pollination is carried out by beetles and flies. The 3-chambered seed capsules contain up to 500 fine seeds, which are dispersed by the wind. The center of distribution for the genus is in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, with Borneo and Sumatra being particularly rich in species, many of which are endemic. Disjunct populations extend westward to Madagascar, 2 species, and the Seychelles, 1 species, southward to Australia, 2 species, and New Caledonia, 1 species, and northward to India, 1 species, Sri Lanka, 1 species, and China, 1 species. Many species, like Nepenthes rafflesiana, inhabit hot, humid lowlands. However, most species are found in tropical highlands, where days are warm year-round and nights are cool to cold and damp. A few species, such as Nepenthes clipiata, live in mountain regions with cool days and near-freezing nights. Pitcher plants prefer moist, bright locations that are not fully sunlit, though some species tolerate full sun exposure, e.g., Nepenthes neoguineensis. Certain animal species live symbiotically with pitcher plants. For instance, woolly bats rest within the pitchers of Nepenthes hemsleyana, reducing the level of digestive fluid during their stay. The bat's droppings then nourish the plants. In Nepenthes bicalcarata, the ant species Camponotus schmitzi resides for mutual benefit. On Borneo, paddle frogs, Philautus nepenthophilus, spend much of their lives in the pitchers of Nepenthes mollis, laying eggs directly into the digestive fluid and allowing their tadpoles to develop within it. Even mating occurs within the pitchers. The pitcher plant gains nutrients from the tadpole's waste while providing a safe nursery for the frog's offspring. Fossil pollen finds from the 1930s in the European Tertiary were classified, in 1985, as belonging to 3 extinct species, Nepenthes echinosporus, Nepenthes echinatus, and Nepenthes major. This suggests that Nepenthes may have originated in Europe and migrated to their current tropical distribution, as successive climate changes offered suitable conditions. Pitcher plants have various uses in their native regions. The liquid inside the pitchers is consumed as a drink, and on Borneo, the stems are used as building material and the pitchers as rice cookers. In folk medicine, the plant sap is considered a remedy for coughs, bladder ailments, eye diseases, and skin inflammations. Decoctions of roots and stems are believed to help with dysentery and malaria. Pitcher plants are popular ornamental plants, particularly in the US and Central Europe. Cultivating certain species is challenging, requiring at least a terrarium or, preferably, a temperate greenhouse with high humidity. Highland species are particularly difficult to grow due to their need for strong nocturnal cooling. Many commercially available Nepenthes are hybrids, which are generally more vigorous and robust than pure species, and can thrive indoors. Common hybrids include Ventrata Nepenthes alata times Nepenthes ventricosa, Miranda Nepenthes northiana times Nepenthes maxima, and Coccinia Nepenthes alata times Nepenthes ampullaria. The first known mention and description of Nepenthes dates back to 1658, when the French governor Étienne de Flacourt encountered Nepenthes madagascariensis in Madagascar. He admired the plant's striking appearance, mistakenly identifying the pitchers as flowers rather than insect traps. In 1680, the German traveler Jacob Brain described another Nepenthes species, Nepenthes mirabilis, naming it Bandura singalensis. He also regarded the pitchers as flowers. In 1753, Carl Linnaeus introduced the genus name Nepenthes in his work Species Plantarum. He drew inspiration from Homer's account of the drug Nepenthos, free of sorrow, in the Odyssey, which Helena administered to Telemachus, son of Odysseus, to make him forget all grief. This drug might have been opium, possibly mixed with hashish or cannabis. In the 19th century, pitcher plants gained popularity, especially through the efforts of Veitch and Sons Nursery under Peter Christian Masson Veitch, who introduced various species and hybrids from their natural habitats. By 1960, pitcher plants experienced a resurgence thanks to the writings of Japanese botanist Shigeo Kurota. Today, approximately 104 species and hundreds of hybrids are known, with some available at florists, garden centers, and even hardware stores. That's it for now. In the next episode, we'll take a closer look at Tentacruel and its relationship with all other animal Pokémon. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and check in next time.